And thank you for joining us on KHOU 11 Plus and on our digital platforms. Thunderstorms building in the area. A live look there from our TransStar camera over downtown Houston. This is why KHOU 11 weather team has issued a weather impact alert through 3 o'clock this afternoon. Good morning. I'm Sherman Chow, and we have team coverage with meteorologists Cheetah Craft and Kim Castro, along with traffic expert Jennifer Reyna. We are tracking those wet roads as well for you. Cheetah, let's start with you.
Yeah, you know, these thunderstorms are continuing to move across the entire area. So that's why we are under a weather impact alert now through 3 o'clock this afternoon. You can see how the radar is completely filled in. So thunderstorms draped. It doesn't matter if you're north or south, east or west. We are dealing with periods and pockets of some heavy rain. So first of all, there are no watches or warnings in place, but the National Weather Service did issue this flood advisory. Sometimes this can act like a precursor before a flood warning, and just to say, hey, we're going to monitor this area. This is in effect until 11:45. Notice how it covers a big part of Harris County, a portion there of Galveston, Fort Bend, and Brazoria County as well. But you can think of this right along I-10 and south of. This is where earlier this morning we had our some big rainfall totals, upwards of about 2, maybe even 2.5 inches of rain. So any more rain on top of that could create some ponding or very quick high water spot. Notice we also do have a special weather statement. That's actually the box there in white, and that's because of the cluster of thunderstorms here in Brazoria County. So this is just east of 288, east of Bonnie, just south of Alvin. Notice a cluster of lightning. Whenever we have saturated grounds, some gusty winds, and a lot of lightning like this, power outages could also become an issue. So heads up across the area, also in Brazoria to Galveston County, portions of even southern Harris County there. When you see the red like this on the radar and some of the deeper shading, that's that heavy, blinding, torrential rain you really don't want to get caught up in. If you do, you just have to really slow your speeds. It can impact your visibilities. This is where I think an area that the National Weather Service will monitor carefully to see if a warning needs to be popped up. So far this morning, we have had no warnings in place, and again, no active watches either. Around the loop this morning, we have consistently seen moderate to heavy rain. It's just been a very messy morning, and these thunderstorms really developed about 8:30 this morning. Then right along the Gulf Freeway, we had video out of League City of hail between potentially pea-sized, even 3/4 size. No longer am I tracking that hail, but look at the heavy rain that's been on and off towards the Gulf Freeway. Gulf Freeway has been a mess from Alvin to Santa Fe, then again from Texas City, from Bayou Vista, right through League City and Kemah, Seabrook, been on and off, very heavy rain with a lot of lightning. And now I'll get you to the north side. You know, earlier this morning, not much activity in Montgomery, Walker County. That has changed. Take a look from Montgomery to Magnolia. Here's Woodlock into Spring and the Woodlands. Take a look at some of the really heavy blinding rain setting up from Montgomery just west of 45. This is expected to roll right over the area. So if you're in Conroe, the Woodlands, Woodlock, heads up. Some of your heaviest rainfall rates potentially could be on the way. This is moving out of Magnolia. Overall, this is driving from west to east. Again, looking at the potential of hail. So some strong gusty winds, those heavy downpours, frequent lightning across the area, and a hail possibility. Right now, I'm not picking up any hail on our hail detector. Earlier this morning, again, out of League City, portions of Brazoria County, we were picking up some pea-sized, even 3/4 of an inch hail size. Big picture, this is the back edge of the line that we're tracking. This is going to continue to push from the southwest to the northeast. Notice the line of thunderstorms. Originally, that was over Matagorda and Wharton County. That has now shifted more over Brazoria into Galveston County, and that'll continue to push off to the east. So while this line is going to hold together and pass from west to east, while it does, those heavy rainfall rates are going to be an issue. And areas that are flood prone, heads up, you could see high water spots. As far as our 24-hour rainfall totals, now these are radar estimates. These are not exact totals. But to give you kind of a general idea, a whole lot of areas over 2 inches of rain over the last 24 hours. That puts you in a position where if you pick up any rain on top of that, that's where you could see some ponding and a quick high water spot. Notice 2.5 inches potentially on the southwest side, over an inch once you get from Katy into Sealy. Along the east side, over an inch of rain. Similar there from Spring. That happened really just over the past hour or so. Then areas south of, once you get closer into Friendswood, potentially Pearland. Notice over 2 inches of rain. League City, that could have been in a really short period of time. And again, these are just general ideas. Now notice the further southwest you go, do you see that spot in Wharton County? Wow, potentially over 4 inches of rain. And that is where the heaviest rain set up earlier this morning. On a scale of 1 to 4, notice we are under level 2 as far as the flood risk goes today, and that is across the entire area. So all of southeast Texas under level 2. However, the risk of severe thunderstorms on a scale of 1 to 5, we are all under a level 1. So the activity that we're tracking right now is basically set up for that level 1. Heavy downpours, gusty winds, frequent lightning, and the potential of some hail as well. Not out of the question. I'm also going to bring in meteorologist Kim Castro because, Kim, even though we're under a level 1, and I say that on a scale of 1 to 5, we're under that weather impact alert because we can't let our guard down right through about our lunchtime hour.
Exactly, and it has to do a lot with the rainfall and the rates, especially when you think about how much rain we've had over the last couple of days. I think the heaviest rain, just like Cheetah showed us, is going to sit over Houston for the next few hours. So I think about until lunchtime, that's when the probability of precipitation is at its highest, about 80 to 70%. Beyond that, we'll still have some lingering showers. It'll just be on the lighter side, and by 3 o'clock, that's when most of the activity is along the coastline. So if you are spending the day in Galveston, if the kids are out for school and you're planning to head down the Gulf Freeway, I would try to do it a little bit later on today. That weather impact alert does expire at 3 o'clock. So again, here's a live look at radar. If you're just joining us right now, soggy start to the day. A lot of moisture from the Gulf has blanketed the area with not just heavy downpours, but thousands of lightning strikes throughout the day. We got some reports of small hail along League City, but that really hasn't been the issue for today. It's mostly repeated rounds of heavy rain. So for that reason, we are under a flood advisory. That means heads up. As you commute to work, you could see some ponding, you could see some high water spots, low-lying areas, could be seeing some issues, especially some localized spots that I'm tracking right now along the southwest side of the loop to the Beltway Hecker, about 3 inches of rainfall in just 3 hours. 3-hour rainfall totals have been excessive in League City as well, getting close to 2 inches for New Gulf, down to Bay City, which is past 3.5 inches in just 3 hours. Now look at how much rain has fallen over the last 2 days. You'll notice some clusters of very heavy rain from Wharton County over to Matagorda County. That's a spot that's picked up about 7 inches of rainfall. So think about that on top of the additional rain that's already falling. That's why we kind of have to be a little vigilant of oversaturation on the ground, and why today is a weather impact alert, at least the start of it, until about 3 o'clock. Notice the northwest side of Harris County has already received 4 inches. And again, that one spot right near Maryland, that's going to be an issue. So here's our neighborhood weather network. These are actual rainfall totals, no estimates. We have gauges in people's houses. You'll notice Brays Bayou along Maryland, that's always an issue. Well, that's already received about 1.5 inches of rainfall there. If you take the view up to Bunker Hill Village, about 1 inch for this morning, that's manageable. So we'll just keep an eye on it, and hopefully this back edge reaches your neighborhood soon and will start to dry out. I want to show you the big picture of the motion. You'll notice the center of circulation with this disturbance is riding along the coastline. So I do think that Houston proper is going to see some nice clearing by about lunchtime, and then again watching the coastline for additional rainfall until about 3 o'clock. So that's your snapshot at 1. Rain lightens up for the loop in the Beltway, starting to push east. Galveston, though, still looking at some heavy rain. That continues about 3 o'clock, and then we allow that weather impact alert to expire. Could we still see some isolated pockets of showers? Yeah, that's possible for this evening, but most of us will start to dry up and see good improvements for later on today. So, bottom line, weather impact alert from now until 3 o'clock. What are your impacts? You could see some localized street flooding. You could see some occasional gusty wind and even the possibility of some small hail, though I think the majority of us are just going to be dealing with tough roads. So try and limit travel. We have traffic expert Jen Reyna joining us. You've been keeping a close eye on some of the trouble spots. What are you seeing, Jen? Any issues so far?
You know what? We had earlier problems, but this hour there's light traffic out there. So if you have some place to be, yes, the possibility of you running into more of a ponding situation is definitely likely, but we have no official high water spots, and I'm not expecting to see any, at least right now. In the downtown area, we are just generally busy. 610, we have some delays that are general for this hour, but everything else has pretty much lightened up as you would expect on the roadways, but slow going for sure. We have the heavy rain that's just west of Conroe, blinding rain when you see the heavy maroon and the reds. So we would ask that you would stay off of roads in those areas. Also 288, Angleton, Bonnie, parts of Liverpool up through Alvin, those side streets like 35 very well could see a low-lying area take on some high water, and they should quickly drain. But I'll keep you posted if I hear anything, especially on our social media accounts. Here's a wreck. I mean, lots of spinouts, of course, when it's slick East Beltway. This is at Wood Forest. Tow truck and police have been on scene, clearing up a lot of crashes left and right, but this is just, due to slippery road conditions. One right lane gets through. Where we typically have high water, North Freeway, the feeder road, or maybe the main lanes around North Main, that is not the case right now. We have not seen any of that on any Houston highways. You can see that we're doing pretty well there as you come in from the Woodlands. And back at Tidwell, I just wanted to show you, it's notorious for that feeder road to flood. You can see traffic getting through. We have not had any flooding at that location. It seems like it's going to be okay. Of course, we are monitoring everything. Down near construction areas, Gulf Freeway at Hughes Road, this is typical for your drive when it's slick and running through a traffic light. We don't have an incident, but then when there's road work, it's always a heavier predictability where you will have ponding and more water that collects. So please take care, watch for curbs or the lining so that you can see where you're going. Have your headlights on. 41 minutes right now in from Katie, and I'll toss it back your way, Sherman.
All right, thank you, Jen. As always, stay safe if you're out on the roadways, as is our Katira Winfrey. She is live from our weather tracker along 59, kind of around the West Loop area. Katira, what are you seeing?
Hey Sherman, we actually just hopped on 610, so we are going to be, as you mentioned, looping around, and right now we are seeing a steady downfall of rain. I want to show you the streets. There are still an okay amount of people on the on the road right now making their way through, but I listened to Jen talking about the potential for ponding on the side of the roads. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, but we are seeing it like right as you get up onto the entrance ramp to get on the highway, so you may want to pay attention to that. And of course, you have some folks who are going a little bit too fast, so be mindful of that when it comes time to stop or press on those brakes. But right now, it's just been a steady flow of rain. No sheet of rain coming down right now, but we are being mindful of the potential for ponding on side of the road and that risk for hydroplaning. But again, right now we are on 610 and eventually plan to make our way down to the Gulf Freeway. And of course, we will continue to stay on the road and bring you the latest as these conditions may change throughout the day, Sherman.
All right, good news is at least where you are, traffic looks relatively light. That's got to be a good thing right now. Thank you, Katira. All right, let's take a live look over Hobby Airport right now. If you're flying out today, be sure you're checking with your airline for any potential flight delays. Ugochi Iloka joining us live from inside Hobby Airport. And I'm sure folks were hoping after the big holiday travel rush, earlier this week, things would be getting better now. How do they look?
Hey, Sherman. Well, right now at Hobby Airport, they are experiencing some flight delays due to the thunderstorms. So the good news is their ground stop has since expired. So that's the case now. If you take a look, this is a live look of what it's looking like right now when it comes to how traffic flow is moving. It's pretty much regular. It's not as busy as it was earlier in the morning when they had earlier flights. No long lines forming because of delays, which is good news. Now, we did just check on Flight View just 2 minutes ago here for Hobby Airport, and it's showing arrival flight traffic is experiencing airborne delays of around 15 minutes, so not too long. And 50% of arrival flights here at Hobby are on time, and 50% of arrival flights are running late, so about half. Then you have around 20% of departure flights on time, and 80% of departure flights are late right now here at Hobby. So that's kind of what's going on here. But I wanted to give you an update in reference to what's going on at Bush Airport, the other big airport right in town. We did just check literally 2 minutes ago, and it shows online that their ground stop has since extended to 11:15 a.m. It was initially supposed to expire at 10:15 around this time, but then we just checked as I was talking to you, and it says it's extended to 11:15. Those ground stops there. As far as ground delays at Bush, that's running around 55 minutes. So we'll be watching both airports and have an update for you on conditions regarding the weather and how it impacts flights here today. Reporting live at Hobby Airport, Ugochi Iloka, KHOU 11 News. We'll send it back to you, Sherman.
All right, thanks, Ugochi. Yep, if you are flying, keep track of those flight departure and arrival times. Thanks, Ugochi. All right, let's take a live look now over Tiki Island. This shot thanks to saltwater recon just over I-45, just north of Galveston as you head on into the island. All of our area under a severe weather threat today. We are also tracking power outages across the area. Centerpoint reporting about 5,000 customers without power. Entergy reporting about 2,000 customers affected, so not too bad. Let's head back to our team coverage with meteorologists Cheetah Kraft and Kim Castro, along with traffic expert Jennifer Rada. All right, Jen, let's start with you. How are those roads looking?
Sherman, of course. Well, the roads are still light, and I still don't have any official high water spots, but anytime there's a dip in the pavement, especially along the feeder roads, I do want you to anticipate some water collecting there. We don't want you hydroplaning, so you do need to slow your speeds. We have a crash that popped up, which I'm not surprised, slick roads. I-10 Katy Freeway outbound at Antoine. It's taking up a couple of lanes. Emergency crews are responding so quickly to all of the crashes that we have seen throughout the collection of this morning. You can see just how busy it is in that area, but for the most part, where you're going to see the congestion is on 69 in downtown, I-10 East, every highway that collects in the downtown area. If you're further out in the outskirts, you're going to say, hey, what traffic? You can see here I-10 Donegan, not much. Gulf Freeway at Holland, light traffic, but people are moving at really high speeds, which we're encouraging to slow your speeds, because when it's slick, you have the tendency to have to brake, or you're going to hydroplane if you hit one of those areas that's just collecting just enough water for your traction to sort of pick up. 28 minutes in from Cypress, 16 minutes out of Pearland. Let's toss it to Kim Castro for the latest update on how the weather is shaping up at this hour.
Hey, Jen. Yeah, the weather team has decided to issue a weather impact alert from now until 3 o'clock. So we're going through the heaviest downpours right now. I think they're going to last us for about an hour or two here in Houston proper, and then the rain starts to taper. You'll still have some pockets of sprinkles, some lighter showers, but the heaviest activity is going on right now. So if you can delay travel, that's a good idea. By 3 o'clock, most of the heavy showers are moving off towards Galveston. Here's a live look at radar right now. So a blanket of rain from the island all the way up into Huntsville. But notice on the back end, things are starting to clear up. Just a couple scattered showers left over in Brenham, and then this line of heavy rain racing through Harris County. So this is going to take a little bit to get out of here. Once it does, conditions are going to improve. But until then, we're going to be monitoring this flood advisory. It's in effect until 11:45. This was issued by the National Weather Service. It's basically a heads up that we're getting heavy rain. We'll continue to see more of it. And with already saturated grounds, we have the possibility of seeing some ponding, some high water spots. You can't rule out the possibility of some localized street flooding. I say localized because there's definitely areas that have seen some more concentrated rain. So southwest side of the loop towards the Beltway, Hecker has seen 3 inches of rain in the last 3 hours. So Cheetah, that's one spot that we will be monitoring for the next few hours.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And now, you know, there is an area just south of Harris County into Brazoria County and portions there of extreme western Galveston County. Also now under a flood advisory until 1 o'clock this afternoon. So both of those right in the heart of Harris County, in Brazoria County. You can see how those rainfall rates are starting to pick up right over Alvin. And that's why there's an area of, hey, concerned areas that we need to watch how much rain they get. Now, just on the east side, I'm going to show you of 45, the Gulf Freeway. A lot of lightning is starting to build. This is also an area from League City, San Leon toward Texas City. We saw earlier today that actually picked up some hail in League City. We received that from one of our viewers. Some of the lightning here that's really getting concentrated just east and west of the Gulf Freeway. So if that's your typical commute, heads up, there's blinding rain, a lot of lightning So just like Jen said, slow your speeds outside. If you can, limit any travel. That'd really probably be in your best interest. Broader scope on the north side, some of these rainfall rates from Montgomery County, just north of Woodlock there, including Magnolia, have also picked up from Montgomery into Walker County. The good news is currently we're not tracking any hail like we previously were. And just like meteorologist Kim Castro said, this is the back edge. This should slide through right around lunchtime and start to clear out for your afternoon. All right, we'll have a lot more coming up in just a little bit.
All right, thanks very much, Cheetah. It is a mess outside for now. Thank you for joining us on KHOU 11 Plus. We will see you right back here at 11 o'clock for another update. And stay with us throughout the day for the latest weather alerts. You can scan the QR code on your screen to download the free KHOU 11 mobile app. Be sure to turn on notifications to get updates straight to your phone. Today's the day for that. We'll see you back here at 11.